Hey friends, this is Pastor Fieberkorn here with you for Gospel Preview Friday. I'm actually going to cheat a little bit and not look at the Gospel reading today. I'm going to look at the substitute for the Old Testament reading, which is a reading from Revelation. So we don't really privilege the Old Testament readings in these daily devotions. That's not to overlook the Old Testament. It's just that we don't preach on it as much, and I think that's okay. I mean, there are some great Old Testament scholars who love to preach on the Old Testament because to show people how Jesus shines through there, and it's a wonderful practice. But I think most pastors are going to gravitate to the epistles of the New Testament and the Gospels because that's where Christ is more fully revealed for us. But for All Saints Sunday, in place of that Old Testament reading, is a reading from, again, the book of Revelation. And by the way, the gospel reading, just so that you know and can be prepared for it, is one that we hear several times throughout a given church year. It's Matthew chapter 5, the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, etc. So you hear that every All Saints Day. And actually, we sing that at Zion. There's a version of it that Mr. Telke has us sing. So we don't hear it read that often. But because the sermon is going to be maybe gravitating more towards this Revelation chapter 7 reading, I thought we would take a look at it. And in fact, it is very gospel-y because it's as gospel as it gets. In chapter 7 of the book of Revelation, we see a picture of a great multitude in heaven, from every tongue, tribe, and nation, a multitude that no one can number, singing out in praise to God in eternity. And Jesus sets this vision before John in his final revelation to mankind through his prophet John, and shows us a picture of what's to come for all who believe. So if you listen to my devotion on Tuesday, Luther said, faith is being seized by those things that we cannot yet see. So we have not yet had the privilege of seeing this multitude. But John did, and he recorded it for us from the one whose testimony is faithful and true. And so we are to believe John's testimony because John testifies that the revelation was given to him by Jesus himself. And so even though we haven't seen the future state of all believers, God has revealed it through his prophet John to the church of all times and places. And what I like to tell people when I think of this reading is, well, sometimes I'll ask people the question, are you in the Bible? You know, of course, people think, well, no, Moses is in the Bible, Noah, Abraham, Peter, James, and John, etc. I don't remember an account of myself in the Bible. Well, the question is a setup, and it's to make a point. You are in the Bible. John sees a great multitude that no one can number from every tongue, tribe, and nation. It's a picture of all believers in heaven one day. So somewhere in that vast crowd of faces is your face. Did you ever think about that John has already seen your face in heaven as he gazed out on this multitude? It's possible he caught a glimpse of your face. Now, it's also not possible because we're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions, of believers from every time and place. And being a limited, finite human being that he is, and a fleeting vision from God, he might not have had time to scan your face. But you're out there somewhere. You are written into the pages of Scripture. Your face is part of a great multitude in heaven. So this Sunday on our sermon, we're going to talk about where we're looking and what our eyes are seeing as we live our lives in this world. So I hope to see you there. God's peace to you. We'll remember our faithful departed this All Saints celebration.